Hey everyone, so I'm really excited because today I'm doing a First Impressions drugstore edition. I've been collecting makeup for about a month now and I haven't had the chance to actually sit down and make this video because I've been busy every weekend, and this is the first weekend where I just have nothing to do. But it's been raining, for 2 days nonstop. It kept me up at night. It's been pouring rain. So the lighting kind of sucks, but hopefully you can still see everything because I have a lot of exciting products to try today. There's been a lot of new launches with drugstore. The majority of my products are from Wet n Wild. I feel like Wet n Wild has just been shooting out new things left and right, which is exciting because Wet n Wild is so cheap. I also have Maybelline and Colourpop with their new lipstick launch, so I'm going to put this all on my face and you get to join. The first thing that I'm gonna try is this Wet n Wild MegaCushion foundation. I debated between getting this and their other foundation. I totally forgot the photo finish? Photo ready? Photo something, the one that everyone on YouTube loves. I debated between that one and this one, and I decided on this one because I've heard that the other one sticks to dry patches on your face, and I have really dry skin. So I thought this one would be better for my skin personally. I've never tried a cushion foundation before, so this should be interesting. I got it in the shade Light Ivory. So the packaging looks like this. It's very cute. And you have the sponge here. This thing feels wet. Well, I'm also gonna do it with a beauty blender just in case I hate this because I don't typically like brushes or sponges that come with these things. Here is the safety seal. It looks really dark in the pan. I hope it's not actually this dark. First thing I'm gonna do is put my mountain of hair out of the way. I think that's a good amount. I don't know, I've never used cushion foundation before. The color is perfect. It's not perfect in person. It looks ridiculous on the camera. It looks really yellow, but I'm looking in my mirror as I do this and it's actually a really good color. It's more pink toned. This sponge actually isn't bad for blending. I don't hate this. And I'm not really trying to cover up anything today. I don't have a lot of acne. I just have a lot of redness. Try to blend this down the neck. It looks ridiculous on camera, but in person it looks really nice, I promise. I think it's just the lighting. It's so... The only thing I'm noticing with my sponge is that I feel like it's not really pushing the foundation into the skin. I feel like I'm gonna have to go over it with my beauty blender. But the finish is beautiful. It's super... I forgot to put on a primer. Oh well. First impression is this foundation is very radiant and dewy, which I love. That tends to be my favorite finish with foundations. I don't usually wear matte ones because my skin is so dry. I'm gonna go in with the beauty blender now to see how that works, and I'm just gonna dig the sponge in there and do this on my other side of my face. I don't know. I actually think I like how this side blended better so far. This is kind of like not, I don't know if it'll focus. It's like not as smooth. Another thing I'll say is this is way more coverage than I expected. I thought it'd be extremely light coverage, but it's actually covering up everything really nicely. For my forehead, I'm actually gonna go back in with this little sponge to do it. I actually prefer the side I used the little pad that came with it, and it could be because my beauty blender is really old and needs to be replaced, but this side looks better than this side. So I'm gonna keep using this. I'm gonna see how this builds up. I'm gonna dip into this again and go over like mostly my cheeks because that's the reddish, that's my red area. This builds up nicely. It's not caking up. It's just going over the first layer very smoothly. I look extremely dewy, almost to the point where I feel like I look oily, and I don't get oily ever. So I'm probably gonna have to set this down. It looks ridiculously pale on camera, but it looks really nice in person. I would say this is like my perfect shade match. I'm gonna see how it looks after I set it down. It's very tacky, like coming off on my fingers, so I don't know. I think I need to blend a little bit more on top just to see if it sinks into my skin more. I didn't get any new concealers, so I'm gonna do that off camera and I'll be back. I got a few of Wet n Wild's new brushes. This is the Precision Setting Brush. I'm gonna use this to set my concealer using the Wet n Wild pressed powder. These brushes are extremely soft. I opened up the packaging and just like touched them for a while. They're heavenly. So I'm just gonna set my under eyes and where I put my concealer with this. Oh, this is the perfect shape. I haven't had a good under eye setting brush in forever, but this is really, really nice. I really like this. I like how thin the wand is. It makes it really easy to hold. The brush is so soft and it's perfect. It's the perfect shape for your under eyes. So nothing bad to say about this. The next brush I got is the large powder brush. I thought this would be bigger. I'm still looking for the perfect large powder brush. But oh my gosh, this thing is just so soft. They're all so soft. But I really need to set this foundation because it's not setting at all. It's very tacky and wet. So I'll be setting it with the It Bye Bye Pores powder. I don't love this for setting the face. It's just so small. I feel like it'd be better for bronzer, which I've heard other people say. One thing I am noticing with the foundation is it's coming off on all the brushes I'm using. It's really nice, but it's not setting and it's transferring really badly. So I'm not sure about this foundation. I'm gonna see how it wears for the rest of the day. But starting off, I don't know. I purchased 3 palettes from Wet n Wild. I got the Petal It Silent Treatment and Comfort Zone palette. I've never actually tried Wet n Wild eyeshadows before. I feel like I'm one of the only people that didn't start off with Wet n Wild eyeshadows. So I don't really have anything to compare the new formula with, but I'm excited to actually see how well these perform. I know people love Wet n Wild eyeshadows, so I'm going to see if they're worth the hype. My first impression on these palettes is they are so hard to open. I was sitting on the floor like working on the sticker for, I don't know, like 5 minutes. It took so long and it's still so sticky from the sticker, so very difficult to open. I primed my eyes and set it with a different eyeshadow, and I think I'm gonna focus on the Comfort Zone palette today because I love the earth tones in here. I've been wanting to try this palette for so long. The last brush I got is the Fluffy Blending Brush, and I'm gonna use this for my transition shades. So I'm gonna start with the top transition shade right here. Just gonna dab my brush in. Lots of powder coming off, but that's not a huge deal. A little bit, not much fallout either. So I'm just gonna give this a shot. That blends really nicely. And I love this brush. It's perfect for my eyes in particular because I have such deep set eyes and very circular eyes. And this transition shade is blending beautifully. Using the same brush, I'm gonna go into the darker transition shade down here and focus it on the outer corners. Taking just one of my other brushes, I'm gonna blend the edges. I'm gonna use the green shade all over my lid using my finger because I prefer to use shimmery shades with my finger. I should put that down. This doesn't have the pigmentation I was hoping. It's really subtle. Like, I feel like I barely even tell that I put green on my eyelid. I might spray my brush and try that route, but usually fingers are the best way to go with shimmer shades. Taking some Fix Plus, I'm going to wet this shader brush and see how that does. That helped a little bit, but it's still not the pigmentation I was expecting. Going back in with my finger to see if I can build this up any more. I think that's about as vibrant I'm gonna get this. I think next I'm going to go into this kind of darker brown right here and do that on the outer part of my eye. I'm gonna use a different brush for this. I'm not loving how this shade in particular is blending out or looking. It came out really almost dark gray and muddy on the eye. Maybe I just picked a bad shade to go with the green, but it's skipping too. I don't love this shade, but for the purpose of matching, I'm gonna put it on the other eye. I'm gonna take the fluffy blending brush and take it into this transition shade again, just to blend out the edges. I don't usually put eyeshadow on before foundation, but I'm almost wishing I did this time because it's just kind of all over the place. It's like going all the way over here. And this darker shade I placed down is just not blending at all. I'm gonna take this lighter shade into the inner part of my eyes, see if I can lighten this up a bit. That almost completely erased the green. No good. I'm gonna focus this shade a little bit more in my inner corner. I'm gonna use the brow bone highlight from the Petal It palette just to highlight my brow bone. Gonna get nice and close so you can see how this turned out. I think it's a mess. And this could just be my subpar eyeshadow skills, but look at how this dark shade just like muddied up the whole look. It looks horrible. I don't know. I think the matte shades are really nice, but the shimmer shades are kind of meh. I don't know. I'm not really getting the hype so far. The next thing I bought is this MegaSlim Skinny Tip Eyeliner from Wet n Wild. I have a lot of trouble doing wings just because of my eye shape. I find it really difficult, so I thought this might be a good thing to try. Sorry I keep looking down. My mirror is down here, so I have to keep crouching down, and my chair is way too high, so it really wasn't the best purchase. Fun fact about me is I can close this eye perfectly on its own. I don't have to like squint like I do with this one, so it's really nice for putting on eyeliner. I actually really like this. I think it's really precise. It makes doing wings really easy. The only thing I'm noticing is it bleeds a little bit, but nothing terrible. I didn't get any new mascara, blush, or bronzer, so I'm gonna do those off camera and then I'll be back. So for bronzer, I use the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer that I got in an Ipsy bag, I think. I also use the Tarte Blush and Exposed. Oh my god, I'm flipping you off. And then I just did my brows with the ABH Brow Wiz. So I have two highlighters to try today. I have the Wet n Wild highlighting powder in the shade Blossom Glow, and I have the Master Chrome highlighter in Rose Gold from Maybelline. That's what it's called, right? Molten Rose Gold. I've been wanting to try this highlighter type in particular, but they had that gold one first, and I just didn't think that would look good on my skin. I think what I'm gonna do with these is do one on one side and one on the other. Hopefully they match, but I mean, it's raining. I'm not going anywhere, so if it doesn't, who cares? I'm gonna start with the Wet n Wild highlighter on my right side with this just fluffy brush from Morphe. Just gonna dig and tap. Maybe it's my brush, but I'm not really seeing much yet. It looks blinding on camera, but in person it's pretty subtle. On the other side, I'm gonna use the Master Chrome highlighter. First, I just wanna like touch this. Oh, that's buttery. I actually swatched the Wet n Wild up here. I didn't film it, but whoa, that's pretty. It's a little dark. We'll see how it looks. Whoa. think this shade is just a little dark for me. I'm not really getting the same effect as I'm getting with the Wet n Wild highlight. It's really pretty. I think I need to try both of these with a different brush. I don't think this is doing the best job for either of them. I just don't have a proper brush to really try it with. I think first impression is I prefer the Wet n Wild side to the Maybelline side, which is surprising because everyone talks about how blinding this is, but I think maybe I'm just too fair for it. I'm not sure. I ended up setting my face off camera, and now is the part I'm most excited about, Colourpop lipsticks. I love Colourpop, but I don't love liquid lipsticks. I still wear them almost all the time because it's the majority of my collection, but I still love bullet lipsticks the best. I just think they always look beautiful. They feel better on the lips. I like my skin, I have dry lips, so sometimes liquid lipsticks, they don't mesh well on my lips. So I'm extremely excited to try these. I ended up getting the shades, oh man. Still Crazy, LA Lady, What If, On Repeat, 27, and Pinkies Up, which was the special edition shade. I don't think I'll use that one today just because I don't think everyone has these. They're already off the website. Given my look today, I think I'm going to go with Still Crazy, which I think is like a pinky nude. This packaging is beautiful. Rose gold. I love it. I love the stars on this lipstick. I think it's such a cute touch. It makes this feel way more than $7. First swatch, first swatch, first swatch. So pigmented. Everything I apply today is horrible because my arm is so shaky. I don't know why. I love this. This is so pigmented. I mean, this is probably the most pigmented, just regular lipstick that I own. And I have some more expensive ones, so I'm extremely impressed. I don't know if I love this lip color with this eyeshadow. I just don't love the eyeshadow in general, but I love this. So here is the final look. I'm gonna go through everything I tried to give my final thoughts. Where did I start? I'm gonna start with the brushes. I really like these. They are extremely soft. They feel luxurious. They feel more expensive than they are. They are a bit on the pricey side for Wet n Wild. I think they're about $10 each, but they're also nicer quality than most drugstore brushes that I've tried. I love this blending brush, especially for my eye shape. If you have deep set eyes like I do, or prominent eyes like I do, this is really, really nice and I recommend it. This is great for setting your under eye concealer. It blended beautifully and it fit perfectly under my eyes. I don't know if I would use this for all over face powder, but I think I'm gonna try it with bronzer or blush in the future. I'm still unsure about the foundation. I'm going to cut to an image of me closer up in natural light. After I've put my powder on top, I do think it looks really flawless, which is surprising because it's such a hydrating foundation. My pores are invisible, but it does transfer a lot. It was transferring on my brushes, like they turned a different color because of it. But after I set it, everything blended on top of it beautifully. So I think this is something I'm gonna have to try again to really decide how I feel about it. But first impression is like, I don't love it, I don't hate it. The eyeshadow, oh man, I don't know what to think about this. I think the mattes blend really well. My transition shade looked really beautiful, but the shimmers are just not anything to be excited about. On my finger, it didn't do anything. On the brush, it really didn't do anything either, and they definitely don't blend well. When I tried to blend that darker shade into the green, it got all muddy and patchy. So I think I'm gonna try one of these smaller ones another day and see how I think, but I don't know. I feel crazy because everyone loves Wet n Wild eyeshadows, but I don't really see the big hype about it. I do like the highlighters. I like the Wet n Wild on my skin better, but both of them blended beautifully and they don't stick to any sort of texture. It doesn't make my pores look big or anything like that. They're both pretty subtle. They're not blinding. It could be my brush, but I like them both. I do like this one better though. Let's get to the eyeliner. I like this eyeliner. My eyes on camera look really, not my eyes, but my eyeliner on camera looks really dark and I love it. It has a matte finish. It was really easy to kind of do the wing. For me anyway, I'm still really bad at doing wings. It's just really hard with my eye shape, but I do like this. I'm gonna definitely use it in the future. I love this lipstick. This is definitely my favorite thing I tried today. It's beautiful. I'm gonna have to see how it wears throughout the day, but it's just so pigmented. If you have shaky hands like I did today, or a lip line that's not really defined, it can be a little bit hard to get a precise line just because it's a lipstick, but it's beautiful, and I'm really excited to try all the shades that I bought. So that is it for today. Comment down below if you found anything new at the drugstore that you were loving. I'm always trying to find new things. But overall, I think today was successful. I don't think I feel the need to return anything. I think the eyeshadows I need to keep playing with. Thank you for watching, and I will see you whenever I find the time to make another video. I'm realizing this whole video I've been making the most ridiculous faces while putting on my makeup. I'm just not thinking about it. My arm is so unsteady. I'm gonna have to do this. My arm is so unsteady. I can't do this. Do you see the way my hand is shaking? Why?